Hi, everybody. This is Gradylight with a new show tonight. And the name of our new show is Symbols, Synchronicities, and the Human Journey. Have you ever thought about someone and suddenly they call? Have you noticed the same symbol showing up over and over again? Have you ever pulled a card that felt like it knew exactly where you were in life? Tonight, we're exploring symbols, synchronicities, intuition, and the human journey itself. Are these moments communication, co- coincidence, patterns, or are they invitations to play, to pay closer attention? As always, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Tonight is about exploration. For centuries, people have looked for meanings through dreams, symbols, rituals, prayers, cards, signs in nature, and moments that seem too perfectly timed to ignore. Some call these synchronicities. Some call it intuition. Some call it spiritual guidance. Tonight, we'll explore together what these experiences might mean and what they may teach us about ourselves. Okay, our first question is, what symbols or repeated patterns have been showing up in our lives? What symbols or repeated patterns have been showing up in our lives lately? Okay, Spirit, go ahead and see what you have to tell us. What symbols or repeated patterns have been showing up in our lives lately? Well, we first of all got the Fool card, which is telling me that symbols can come to us in different ways. They can repeat themselves, and they're going to be showing up in our lives and when we don't even expect it. And we can be fooled by not being able to know when these symbols are going to show up. We're looking into a lot of different things here, and this is a very interesting card. It tells us a lot of different things. We're getting the Eight of Swords. Sometimes these symbols can be warnings, these repeated patterns that show up in our lives on, right, close to each other, like you're seeing orbs, or you're seeing this, you're seeing that. All these things can cause us to wonder what's going on. What can make us think that? Even in dreams, I had a lot of dreams, and a lot of my dreams, and finally, I can see where it was coming from because my life changed so dramatically in those areas that I dreamed about. So that's another way that things can happen. And the emperor is telling us that we're going to be uh, having a lot of different things come to us, and it's going to be more than what we expected. And sometimes it can be more than you even bargained for. Sometimes really, really good things, and sometimes not as good of things. But sometimes we get these symbols. We find a pattern of some of these symbols, and then we get the High Priestess card, which is letting us know that there's a lot of wonderful things that come our way, and sometimes we gotta work and keep ourselves in a alignment with our higher self, with our surroundings, with everything that's coming to us, uh, to be able to really figure out what some of these symbols are. Symbols. So symbols can come to us in a lot of different ways. And as we saw the cards showing us, when you see orbs, a lot of times it can be your relatives showing up or your friends on the other side. Some of my dear friends have shown up in orbs. I can be sitting right here pulling cards or just working with a computer, and I see little orbs floating right in front of me. Really small, little microscopic orbs. They're amazing to see, and I just know it's spirit. Spirit's there with me, always protecting me, looking out for me, and I'm so proud to know that my spirits are with me tonight. My angels, uh, my spirit guides. I have so many spirit guides. It's incredible, and I need every one of them. And I'm so glad they want to be my spirit guides. And I've looked into a lot of it. I've had tarot card readings on it. I've found out a lot about who a lot of them are. And if I really want to know who's one of them is, I just pick up the pendulum and ask my higher self. I can find out pretty much anything I want to know if I want to know it. Some things I'd rather not know because I have more important things to worry about than small things that a lot of us, including myself, get concerned about sometimes. But we try to get beyond that. Our synchronicities, messages from outside ourselves, reflections from within ourselves, or both. Okay, Spirit, here we go. Got another question. Our synchronicities, messages from outside ourselves, reflections from within ourselves, or both. So what you got to tell us about that, Spirit? What did you tell us about that? Sounds very interesting to me. So exciting to know that if we want to, we can find out what we need to know from our spirits, from our cards and our tools that we use to access this information that we need. or that we want to know about. And sometimes we need it as well, very badly, to guide us on our path, that we stay true to what we're doing. So we're getting the Queen of Cups. And yes, the Queen of Cups is telling us that we do get messages from outside ourselves. And sometimes they are reflections from within ourselves, or it can be both. She concurs with that. She is showing the beautiful, the wonderful things that come. And the little puppy dogs are so happy to be with her. And she's so happy to be with them. And things are really going great for her. There's great abundance and happiness and everything that comes with it. And with the King of Cups, and the Queen of Cups, now we got the King of Cups. How great is that? I say that's really good news. And these synchronicities, messages from outside ourselves, can be wonderful messages because they're not within us, they're coming to us from higher realms. Isn't that amazing? And sometimes we find ourselves getting messages that showing us our journey, that we're coming from a darker place into a lighter place, and things will never be the same. Things are going to be great. And these synchronicities are wonderful feelings and great things for us to enjoy. And then we're getting the Ace of Cups. My goodness gracious. Cups have been good to us. This is great abundance as well. And these synchronicities can come to us in different ways, and they can manifest themselves in ways that we didn't even expect. They're such a good thing to think about. And we've been thinking about reflections outside ourselves and reflections from within ourselves. And sometimes a little bit of both. Yes, we're getting a little bit of all of it right here in these cards. And this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hand to share with the audience tonight. And if the audience has additional information to share, feel free to add your comments below. And as we continue, we'll have to mix up the cards and see what Spirit has for us on the next round. So let's see here. How does intuition influence the choices we make on our human journey? How does intuition influence the choices we make on our human journey? Wow. Oh, now I'm kind of mixed up, so now we'll shuffle. How does intuition influence the choices we make on our human journey? Okay, jumping in. Let's see what we got. Okay. We're getting the moon card. Beautiful, beautiful energy. So romantic, so wonderful. Moon. A lot of the moon. How does intuition influence the choices we make on our human journey? Well, the moon has a big influence on it. You've always heard so much about how the moon causes a lot of different things to happen. It influences things in a lot of different ways. So, yes, in our intuition, it influences choices that we make. I know mine does. I can just think of something and pretty much I'm right about a lot of things. When it first comes to me, it's the first thing I think of. And the lovers, as we just had the moon card, and the lovers love to be in the moonlight. So romantic for them. And their intuition is telling them how that they feel about each other and they can read each other. A lot of times they know what each other's thinking or saying. I know I've had friends that would just be thinking about them and they call you or something. And the Queen of Swords, such a wonderful energy. And it's letting us know that trust your intuition. It's a great thing. And it's something we have to work on to make it more and more uh, sharper and more easier for us to hear from our intuition. We have to do certain internal work on our heart and our soul to be able to come up with these things, to be able to be, and of course, a lot of it's natural too, because we're born with natural um, abilities. So, and the hermit. And the hermit's letting us know that, yes, trust your intuition because it influences the choices and will help our human journey in many, many ways. As he does, he journeys. He does a human journey. He's going around looking, searching, making sure that things are what they ought to be and what he can find out. And how all this is going to come about so we can all be happy as we trust our intuition in so many different ways and so much to be thankful for on this path that we're on right now, especially. So, what a great uh, question. And I'm so glad to be able to brought that information to you. Okay, let's see the next question. I'm going to mix up the cards right quick. So, uh, can symbols and rituals help uncreate more meaning in everyday life? Can symbols and rituals help uncreate more meaning in everyday life? So, see what I have to say about that. So, interesting card. Okay, we're getting the Fool card. And the Fool card is telling us that uh, when we use symbols and rituals to help and create more meaning in everyday life, if we want to uncreate it, more meaning, I don't know why we want to uncreate more meaning, but it might be the meaning of things that we're not really sure of, things that we're afraid of, or things that are bad. Things are going really bad, and we want to manifest something newer and better. We can see why we would want to uncreate more meaning in everyday life. And we're getting the King of Pentacles, which shows that sometimes we do have to have a ritual or go within and work on ourselves. And sometimes I've actually went to meetings where all the spiritual people got together and we all had a ritual and we could do what we needed to do to help our uh, soul, us to come back to ourselves, to bring back our power, to come within ourselves again and back into our own power, taking back your own power. And a friend of mine does that, Shelley Valentine. It's called Taking Back Your Power, which is a spotlight. She's on a lot of different platforms. I think Threads and uh, YouTube and Instagram. So go see Shelley Valentine. She's amazing, very amazing. So now we're getting the Ace of Swords. Uh, and the symbols that we're getting from that is that, sometimes we have to battle against negative forces. And sometimes we have to use symbols and rituals to help us uncreate some of the things. We even have to use salt to help protect us from, we have to use smudging like sage and all kinds of different things like that we use to help keep evil away and to uncreate some of the different things that can have uh, too much of a negative meaning in our lives that we want to get rid of. And the Three of Cups is telling us that as we do use these symbols and rituals to uncreate more meaning in everyday life, uh, the more meaning means the more meaning of things that we don't want to do. Because why would we want to uncreate things that were good? So, yes, this is what we're getting. This is a great hand of cards here that we all got to look forward to as we journey down this path. So that's what Spirit had to tell us about that. So, what blocks us from recognizing guidance, patterns, or opportunities? Let's at the cards right here. Okay. Okay, Spirit. What blocks us from recognizing guidance, patterns, or opportunities? It's jumping out at me, so I'll just take it. We're getting the Sun card. Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Five of Swords. Okay. Sun card. Sun card is telling us that what blocks us from recognizing guidance, patterns, or opportunities are when we're not being ourselves. We're too concerned about everyday life and what's going on in the 3D realm instead of keeping our intuition up and keeping our what we need to be doing taken care of. We need to be keeping our spirit in alignment with God, with the universe, with all these wonderful things that are here for us. So we can not recognize the guidance and the patterns and the opportunities if we don't stay in correct alignment. And the Six of Pentacles is showing here how we're sometimes being looked at. We're being weighed. Our pentacles are all being judged and looked at. Even though it can be abundant, we've got to make sure that we've got everything in our lives straightened out to where we can deal with that and be able to have the answers we need so that we know not to let anything block us, the guidance and patterns or opportunities. And the Nine of Swords, it's kind of someone it looks like that we can get blocked. We can be in a bad way to where that we're just letting our mind race, think about things that we shouldn't be thinking about, things that's not for our higher good, and we're letting other people bother us, other little concerns bother us instead of having the faith to know that you're 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 going to be okay. That you can't let worry about money or worry about tomorrow or all these things bother you because there's always something there to keep you from getting in a bad way if you do what you need to be doing. And the Five of Swords. So we're actually leaving the battlefield as we fight against all our thoughts and all the things that are not in our higher good. And it's a battle. We got to stay against what blocks us from recognizing guidance, patterns, and opportunities. We have to work against it and always stay positive and do all the things you need to do. That's reaching, you've got to learn how to take care of yourself spiritually as well as physically in this 3D realm that we're still in partially as we go into it. We're already reaching into the 5D realm, 5 fifth density, but It's just right around the corner when all that takes place. And it's going to be a great, great day when we are finally totally into the fifth density. What message or energy should we carry forward after tonight? Okay, Spirit, let's see. Let's see what we can find out here from Spirit. So happy to have Spirit with me. They're with me all the time. They would really help me. And the most important one that Spirit I love to be with is our God, God Almighty. He makes all the difference for me. As we have to stay in alignment with Creator Source. We have to stay in alignment. Without Him, we're really in bad shape. Because He's the one that runs the whole universe. But He lets mankind have their free will. That's the reason a lot of things happens. But we're supposed to be learning our lessons too. So what message or energy should we carry forward after tonight? Okay. Ready. So we're getting the Ten of Cups. It's a beautiful card. Very exciting. Very nice. And what the message? The message and the energy. The message is that we all have a lot to look forward to. Things are great. Things look bad right now because of so much uncertainty in the world. But once we stay vigilant and keep our minds focused on the higher things, the better things, and we don't give in to negativity and to fear, and don't get caught up in those lower astral thoughts and things, we're going to be coming out way ahead. And we get the Hangman. That's telling us just what I just said. Don't let it get you all topsy turvy, and you're worried about this and you're worried about that. Just keep your mind focused on the higher things, and keep trusting and praying and knowing that God's going to take care of us. And the Page of Swords, he has his little sword out, and he's there. And he means business, but yet he is gentle, as his little birds are right there with him. And they love him, and they know he has their better interest in heart, that he's trusting and loving, but yet a bit of a warrior, I'd say, in a way. And the Ace of Pentacles says a great abundance. Great abundance is coming to all us who stay vigilant, who stay focused on the greater things that God has to give to us. And it's going to be a beautiful, wonderful age of Aquarius that's on its way, the golden age that I talk about so often. So Get excited, everybody. It's all coming. Our intuition is helping us, and we got a lot to be thankful for. So, okay, audience. Whether synchronicities come from spirit, from psychology, symbolism, consciousness, coincidence, or from somewhere we don't yet understand, perhaps the value is not only in the experience itself, but in how it changes us. Thank you for exploring with me tonight. Good night, everybody.